Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I'd like to call the meeting to order. My name is Tara Tui. I'm Vice Chair of the Commission. I'll be filling in for Chairman Tenert today. And I'd like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. And Jeff, would you go ahead and lead us? Next, I'll be looking for a motion to approve the minutes of the previous commission meeting. Okay, thank you. All those in favor of it? Oh, do I? Moved and first. Vicky, would you like me to repeat the motion and second? Okay, we'll all use our microphones today for motions. Thank you. So moved. And Commissioner Parrish gave us a second. Thank you. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to our announcements. Our next meeting will be on Thursday, April 27th. Our May meeting will be on May 25th. And I wanted to also make an announcement that we are looking at doing an out of Salt Lake meeting as well, and looking at Cache County for that meeting. So if you'd like to make plans to attend up in Cache County, we'd love to have you. A note on public comments. For those present, you are welcome to sign in and make public comment as we come to various points in our meeting discussion where we will take public comment. We will also accept those comments at the very end of the meeting. For those participating virtually, please email your name, city, topic, and affiliation, if applicable, to hotline@utah.gov. And those comments will be addressed at the end of the meeting. Okay, Sean, I understand you have a financial update for us.
Yes, good morning, commissioners. So for the February financials for DABS, the month of February's retail sales was 50 million, almost exactly, which is 3.5 million higher than the prior February. We believe a lot of this is due to the extended ski season, additional tourists, and also the NBA All-Stars game. Expenditures this year, because of a lot of the cost conditions, are higher by about 5% over the prior year. And what that ends up meaning is a transfer to the general fund of about $9.6 million for the month of February. And that is the liquor profit transfer that occurs at the end of the year. So that was just February's dollar. For the entire year so far, we anticipate a transfer of about $69 million going to the general fund to help reduce income taxes and pay for other programs. Does anyone have any questions?
Okay, thank you, Sean. Appreciate that. Let's go ahead and move on to Doug for our Parents Empowered update.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. At the last February Commission meeting, I talked a little bit about some findings from our parent survey that we do annually and also sometimes twice a year. But it's to get the perspective of what parents are thinking and how they approach underage drinking prevention. So just a couple of more of those findings. One was that parents are worried more about other things than underage drinking, right? We've seen a decline in that seriousness of how they perceive underage drinking, right? And it's not a big drop or anything like that, nothing to be over concerned about, but we kicked around why some of these things might be. So anecdotally, we started to see the decline just as the pandemic started, so that's understandable. Also, there's a lot on parents' plate, right? They're concerned about other things, right? Whether it's safety or mental health issues and so forth. So that makes some sense. And then also we can't forget that underage drinking rates in Utah are at their all-time low. So maybe it's just less of a concern for that reason. The other thing is that we wanted to make sure is we are seeing also a decline in what parents perceive as the risk of underage drinking. So that is a concern of ours, as we know where underage drinking can take our kids, right? It's not to a good place. So that's one of the data points that we'll keep an eye on. Perhaps we need to do a little more of harms messaging and let them know what the negative consequences are for underage drinking. So we'll keep you posted on that. And then lastly, I wanted to tell you a little good news. At the first of the month, the DABS's Parents Empowered campaign received some advertising awards. The American Advertising Federation, or ADDIES, what they call them. They hold an annual gala here in Utah, and they judge all types of different advertising that's done throughout the state. And the Parents Empowered campaign won 7 awards. 6 of them were gold, 1 silver for a radio ad. The others were our TV spots for this campaign year, where we advertise the importance of parents talking to your kids at an early age, particularly from the ages of 9 to 13 is a nice little window there where they're open to that type of conversation. So we're pleased about that. The nice thing about the ads is the judges are nationally based, and they're in the advertising business. So it's a great compliment to our ad agency and our partners to recognize them, from their peers, that they've got some great ads. So just wanted to mention that for you guys. So that concludes my report.
Thank you, Doug. And I think those awards speak highly to the work that the commission so appreciates from you and our advertising agency partners, and keep up the good work. Thank you. Director Clayson has our operations update for this month.
Yes. We obviously have a ton of projects underway, a lot are technology projects, and are in our retail area of our operations. I'd like to quickly give you guys an update on the easy workshops that just took place. This was a partnership with Salt Lake County Health Department, the Utah Driver's License Division's Eliminating Alcohol Sales to Youth, or EASY program. Our staff in compliance and licensing worked so diligently and collaboratively with so many different partners, law enforcement partners. In fact, I think even a couple of our commissioners attended some of these EASY trainings, but there were 2 separate workshops, one for licensees and then specifically for off-premise retailers. And there was another one for law enforcement. They were really well attended, and we've received really positive feedback from those that participated. Again, these workshops are important because they're proactive, right? Obviously, you all will be dealing with violations here as the next item on the agenda. But what we believe and what we know is that if we can be proactive, if we can be preventative in terms of educating our licensees and others on alcohol laws, ways to operate safely, not only do we ensure a safe environment in which people can enjoy themselves, but it should help reduce violations, et cetera. So I'm really proud of our team and all of the hard work that went into those workshops, and hopefully we'll continue to do more of those. We don't want to sort of scoop ourselves next month, but quickly just to say, we have internally launched our help desk. This is something I know you all are aware of. Our staff have again been working very hard behind the scenes to stand this up. This is something that many other state agencies have, but we have not had. So at the moment, it's been a couple of weeks now, we have been running the help desk. It's been helping our workforce with various questions that it may have. As we sort of work out the bugs and work out the kinks. And we're looking to hopefully next month launch it to the public. So we will then have our help desk helping members of our workforce with potentially IT issues and other things, but then also we'll be able to help our customers, be it navigate our website, applications, make payments, all of those sorts of things the help desk will be able to assist with. So again, we're really excited about that. We think it's a really great service-focused addition to our operations. And I'm really proud of the team that has been working on that and will execute that.
Great, thank you. We'll go ahead and move on to our violation consent calendar. I'd be looking for a motion to approve the consent calendar.
So moved.
May somebody please second the motion?
A second.
Thank you. Appreciate that. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, moving on, we've pulled out a violation for commission consideration. Is Buffalo Wild Wings of Layton here? And may you come to a familiar place at the pulpit.
Good morning, Commissioners. We are on.
Can you just make sure the button
Is it
is
green?
green?
Now it's green. Thank you
Please
very much.
introduce yourselves and state your names for the record.
Tanner Strickland Leonard. Laura Carlson Heidemann.
My name's Kirsten Allen. I'm the Regional Vice President for Buffalo Wild Wings.
Kurt Torres, District Manager, Utah and Idaho.
Senior Licensing Specialist from the corporate office.
Great, thank you. We wanted to pull out your violation today for special consideration because as you know, we've seen you here many times and Buffalo Wild Wings seems to keep having these pretty serious violations, not at necessarily a singular location, but we are seeing repeats at individual locations, which is concerning to us. I think with that, I might turn some time over to Commissioner Jacobson if he was ready. And we can. Are you ready, Commissioner Jacobson? And sorry to put you on the spot. I know that you're busy this morning and thank you for being here.
I do apologize to everyone in the room. I had a court appearance by phone and though I told them I needed priority and everything, sometimes judges have their own minds. The questions, a couple of questions. First of all, I read your plan. And in your plan, you state that there will always be a manager at the door to check IDs for people who intend to consume alcohol, correct? And then about 2 bullet points down, you say something to the effect that if there is no manager up front, that a team member can do that. And it seemed to me that that was an inconsistent point. I would ask you to take a look at that. And maybe I think that point one that I want to make with you. Point two is so you can address both of these at the same time. They're kind of related. In most of the businesses that we see operating, people are checked when they order. And having been in a Buffalo Wild Wings, I understand, especially the one in Layton here, which I have patronized, it's a very narrow space where you enter and before you get into the seating area, whether it be the bar or the restaurant. And it's very narrow, it gets very crowded when you're busy. And so, first of all, I think that we ought to get clarification about who is going to check and how you're going to do that, especially when you get very busy. And the second thing is why you've never considered just checking when people order so that there isn't this gap between the front desk and the ordering. And the reason, I guess, that we're asking these questions and coming, putting you really on the spot on this is we want you to succeed. We don't want this to happen again. It's very embarrassing, I think, to everybody to have the name Buffalo Wild Wings show up on our agenda. And it does seem that there's a little endemic issue here. And so just wanted to pass that on. I'd like to hear what you have to say about that.
Could you please address? Thank you.
You're absolutely right. It is an embarrassment when we have these violations, and it's not our intention. We want to create a safe place for our customers and our employees to serve alcohol responsibly. The reason we made the decision to move that to the door is to create a filter, to create a sense of urgency. So we're asking that our managers are at the door and that they're that first line of defense. Now, we've also trained our servers and our bartenders that they also need to be checking the ID and that they're still individually responsible for the service that they're providing. So by doing it at the door, it does create a bottleneck. And quite honestly, it's created a slowdown of our business, but we want to be able to capture every opportunity to ensure that we're doing the right thing. So even if we lose a little bit of sales or frustrate some people, or quite honestly, have guests leave because they don't want to be wristbanded, we feel like it's the right thing to do if we can ensure that we've gotten that first line of defense to prevent a mistake on IDing somebody. And then we have the second line of defense at the table.
Okay, and I hate these personal observations because, I'm sitting there with my grandchildren and, we're trying to have a good time, but I know somebody in the next booth had ordered some alcohol and they were not asked to show any ID. Okay, and they were wearing long sleeve clothing because it was winter, so you couldn't see the wristband. That's why I only, you say that you're being checked, but that's not what my personal observation was with people who are seated. And there's got to be a reason why these violations keep showing up. And I think that that's why we're very concerned. And that's why when I looked at your sheet here and saw what appeared to be conflicting instructions, that I thought it ought to be addressed here because this just can't go on.
Right, you're 100% right. And the reason we had that amendment is we want the manager to be at the front door, but we know that there's going to be times where they get called away and they need to check something in the kitchen. And so we ask our team, that it's okay for a team member to seat guests, and that if necessary, that they can check ID, but we want that to be the backup plan, not the main plan. And to address, we're trying to eliminate as many scenarios as possible where a team member can make the wrong decision and hurt our business. And Kurt and I both have been in our restaurants to inspect that this process is working. And I'll tell you, 2 weeks ago, I was in a sports bar and it wasn't working. And I terminated the general manager on the spot. And we got together and got everybody on calls again to make sure that they understand that we're going to have zero tolerance for our managers not creating an environment where we serve alcohol safely.
Now, when I listen to what you're saying, you say you had to terminate somebody just a couple of weeks ago because it wasn't working. Then that may tell some of my fellow commissioners and myself, well, this thing isn't working and it needs to be fixed. It's not just individuals who are messing up, but there's something not in place to catch this. And, my friend Doug at the end of the table there is actively involved in trying to make sure young people do not get addicted to alcohol. And when we have an applicant or a licensee that has a situation where it's just not getting caught time after time, the only thing we can strongly suggest to you is, from what we see, is your system's not working. And I'm sorry for being so blunt, but it really isn't. If this is happening and you're catching it, if you're catching people doing this, just think of all the times it's not being caught and the minors that are being exposed to addiction. So to that extent, we have obviously a very serious concern that maybe what you have to do is you've got to go back to ground zero and look at what system can we put in place, which will not allow for the perfect storm to happen, because what we see here is a series of mistakes that eventually leads to a minor being served in the restaurant, or maybe even they get to the bar somehow and get served. And so that's what we are concerned about. And so to that extent, whatever you could do to make some changes, I think we would feel a lot more comfortable that this isn't going to happen again.
Thank you, Commissioner. Absolutely. And I've seen a lot of these and been walking through a lot of these, and I want to offer just a little bit of a counter to that. And Sam McHenry has given me permission to relay what happened when I gave him a call, or I think it was an email, and said, hey, I have a second violation I need to talk to you about. And I hate it when you see it come across your desk, give me a call. And he emailed me back and he was like, second violation? Well, why don't you tell them, just do what Buffalo Wild Wings is doing? Because I went in there and man, they are locked down. And I emailed him back. I was like, Sam, it is Buffalo Wild Wings. And he said, I can't believe it. And that has been our whole experience here. We can't believe this is happening because of everybody that I've seen. They are taking those steps and they are doing the lockdowns. And I would love for them to be able to talk about how about the things that they're doing that are working, the things that they have passed. And I really hope that they would not be punished for doing some internal things that did not result in any service to minors, but just keeping their standards high.
Yeah, just as an example, some of the things we put in place, we have a checklist every day that every front of house team member reads and signs. And we brought several copies for the month of March from our location. So every team member every day is having a one-on-one with the manager saying, I understand that these are the things I'm responsible for. I'm responsible for ensuring that I'm IDing properly and that IDs are valid and that they're getting scanned and that they're personally responsible for alcohol service. And we do that every shift, every day with every team member. We've put in place this double check at the door, not taking away the responsibility at the table, but a double check with the wristbands, ID scanners at every location. And we're getting an additional scanner at every location right now so that we've got, 2 so that it doesn't fall through the cracks. We've had multiple meetings with our managers. We've got an example of the wristbands here as well. Where we're doing a bright color so that it is more visible. I feel like since we've put these additional measures in place, I'm seeing, has there been mistakes? Yes, but I'm glad that I caught that mistake. I'm glad that I was the one that found it. And in that case, we went back and looked at video and every one of the guests had been ID'd properly. Just the manager wasn't making sure we were scanning at the door. So we had that, we still had a line of defense, just not the second line. So that's where we made the decision to terminate that person's employment so that we could protect our business. But I feel like we tried to do everything above and beyond what any other Buffalo Wild Wings in the country is doing to provide a safe environment.
Thank you for your comments there. Are there any other commissioners with comments regarding Buffalo Wild Wings? Okay, I'd be looking for a motion to approve the violation agreement settlement, excuse me.
I will move to do the trust that you will take another look at all of this.
And I'll second.
You. Just for discussion to the motion, I really don't want to see you here again. I so appreciate all of the measures you've put into place. I really appreciate the plan that you've put together. And I also understand as a corporation, you are doing this special in Utah, that you're going above and beyond your typical corporate standards and making an extra effort here. And I hope this pans out and turns out well for you and that you can implement this all over, because if we're catching sales to minors here in Utah, it's probably happening in other places as well. So I would encourage you to keep up the good work and appreciate you also for taking action on employees to keep those standards high and to please keep them in place. So with that, I think we'll, oh, do you have a comment?
I also just wanted to add that what we do look at and study the list of all of the times that you're passing the cub tests. And so I don't want you to feel like we aren't noticing. It's just that we would like to have 100% compliance.
Thank you. With that, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Great, thank you. Moving on to item C, we'll be striking this item from the agenda because the matter was resolved. And moving on to licensee recognitions with Director Clayson.
Good morning. We have for February 2023, 55 businesses or licensees that passed their SBI or Utah Public Safety Inspections. I always just like to point out that when you look at this list encompasses businesses from all over Utah. Again, we've got Draper, Salt Lake City, Roy, we've got Orem, Taylorsville, Sandy, so a lot along the Wasatch Front that are here, and they kind of run the gamut from restaurants, local mom and pops to franchises. We've got bowling alleys. We've got a pub in the airport. And so, again, I just think this is a really great way to highlight that in our licensee community, the customers that we serve, we have a lot of people who have safe operations, are working really hard to create safe environments and to pass the inspections and or not get violations. So a big thank you and recognition to all of the licensees that are on this list for last month. And that'll conclude my report on that, commissioners.
Great, thank you. And we really appreciate all of those licensees who have passed these important inspections. Moving on to the change of location request. Rob, I think you have that one.
Yes, good
Thank you.
morning. We have a liquor warehouse license. It's owned by Cirque Distilling LLC, currently located at 2052 West, 2200 South in West Valley. They are moving to Midvale, 90 East Fort Union Boulevard. The application is complete and meets statutory requirements.
Be looking for a motion to approve the change of location request. Thank you. And a second, all those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say no. I think that passes. Thank you, Rob. Moving on to license applications for off-premise beer retailers. Stephanie?
Good morning, commissioners. We have two change of ownerships, with the first one being conditional. The applications are complete and they both meet statutory requirements. For new applicants, we have 4 new applicants, with number 3 being conditional. All applications are complete and meet statutory requirements.
Thank you. I'd be looking to approve these applications with Chevron item 1 being conditional, and as well in the new applicant section with item 3 being conditional.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Second from Commissioner Terrazon. Sorry, down there, Commissioner Jacobson, she beat you to it. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Rule that passes. Thank you. Moving on to the liquor warehouse applicant from Interwest, Stephanie.
Yes, this application is complete and meets statutory requirements.
Thank you. Looking for a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Rule that passes. Moving on to the manufactured distillery applicant from McClary Innovation. Jeff?
Good morning, commissioners. Application is complete and meets statutory requirements.
Thank you. Looking for a motion to approve this application.
So moved.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Rule that passes. Now for brewery manufacturer brewery applications. Jeff?
Yes, we have one change of ownership and 3 new applicants. All applications meet requirements and are meet statutory requirements.
Great. I'd be looking for a motion to approve the change of the license change of ownership, as well as all 3 new applications.
So moved.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Rule that passes. Moving on to winery applications from Jeff.
Yes, we have 2 applicants and applications are complete and meet statutory requirements.
Thank you, Jeff. Looking for a motion to approve both winery applications. Thank you, Commissioner Parrish. Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Great. Moving on to item F, local industry representative applicants. Jeff.
We have two applicants. Applications are complete and meet statutory requirements.
Looking for a motion to approve the local industry representatives.
So moved.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Great. Item G, package agency applicants. Jeff.
We have 4 applicants this month. 3 are type 5 and 1 is a type 1. Applications are complete and meet statutory requirements.
Looking for a motion to approve all 4 package agency applicants.
So moved.
You. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Great. Item H, on-premise beer retailer amenity applications. Jeff.
Yes, we have 1 applicant this month and application is complete and meets statutory requirements.
Looking for a motion to approve Eagle Cafe on the Parkway.
So moved.
Second from Commissioner Randall. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Great. Item I, hospitality amenity applicant. Jeff.
Yes, we have 1 applicant this month. Application is complete and meets statutory requirements.
Looking for a motion to approve Marriott Summit Watch Resort for their hospitality amenity application. Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, moving on to full service restaurant applications. I understand Jeremy will be filling in for Corey today. Go
Yes,
ahead,
good-
Jeremy.
Good morning, Commissioners. There are two changes of ownership applicants here. The first one is conditional, both meet statutory requirements pending your approval. Do you want to take this all as one or for this particular item?
I
Commissioners?
think that let's go ahead and take these 2 and then we can move on. So looking for a motion to approve the 2 change of ownership applications.
So moved.
Second. Seconded by
You
Commissioner
again.
Terrazon. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Great. Jeremy, moving on to the ready to operate applicants.
All right. 1 through 7 applicants are ready to operate. You'll notice that they several are noted as conditional. They simply require a business license. These municipalities require consent from the commission before they will issue a business license. So they are ready to operate and many of them are open. I have an update as well, if you're okay with this. All other applicants, number 3, Ulam under Canvas in Moab. It is ready to operate just as a point of weather, perhaps. It requires a final inspection and the DABS has tried several times to go out and accomplish this. The weather has not been cooperative. So that being said, I think it should be ready to be approved for a license pending final inspection.
And Jeremy, my understanding is that they're opening, they're open as of today. Is that right?
As I understand, yes, they have all of their licensing in place apart from the final inspection from Utah DABS.
Hey, Director Clayson, did you have something to add there?
Yes, I just wanted to add that I have a photo of their business license. And I am looking, I just received an email they forwarded from San Juan County from the inspector. And just to read a quick snippet, the inspector says, I have completed all of the necessary inspections for the main lobby restaurant building. And so I think they're looking to issue that final certificate of occupancy today, and they will open then today. And I did happen to call yesterday to see if I would be lucky enough, should I find my way to Grant County or San Juan County, Grant County, that area, if I would be able to eat there. And they did say that they would be open. I would be welcome to dine. So those are the details that we have in that update for your consideration.
Thank you. before we move on to the other list of all other applications, I'd be looking for a motion if someone were to choose to make this to approve items 1 through 7 in the ready to operate section, as well as item 3 in other applications for ULM.
Yeah. And I'll
Thank you.
second.
Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Okay, Jeremy, go ahead and give us an update on the other applicants for full service restaurants.
Certainly, happy to do that. So we've got Casa Salvaje. They require a final inspection for dispensing and lockable storage. That would be number 1. We have Horizon View Restaurant in Moab. They don't have a commercial business license as of yet and no certificate of occupancy. They need a premise inspection. Number 4, Kupla Coffee, they require a final inspection. They remain under construction. Their projected opening is April. They intend to open regardless of whether they have an alcohol license or not. Then we have PF Chang's in Murray. They have a conditional business license. They need a final inspection to ensure they have ID scanning in place, etc. Their projected opening is April 5. There is a violation history. So perhaps if someone from PF Chang's is here, you may want to speak to that. Number 6, Vintage Restaurant and Bar. Their projected opening is April 10. They require a business license bond, many things, and a final inspection. Level Crossing Brewing. Their projected opening is mid-April, and this is a backup application for a bar. Then we have Autochem Zion, their conditional business license. They require final inspection, so we will need their business license in order to move forward. Their projected opening is April 17th. Kasiki Sushi in St. George. They require a business license, final inspection. We need their floor plan layout to be finalized. We have their floor plan. We just have some questions on discrepancies. Under Canvas Bryce, their projected opening is May 11th. And the Rooted Cafe in Riverton, their projected opening is in June.
Great, thank you. I'm going to ask Commissioner right next to me. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes at the same time. I'm trying to do math with the quota and looking to Commissioner Orton at the same time. I'm wondering if you could give us an update from the compliance subcommittee meeting and talk about the recommendations that the subcommittee has made. And then I'll give an update on the quota. Thanks.
Perfect, thank you. So the very short story, for those of you who join us frequently, I think this will sound familiar. We've determined that due to the limited number of full restaurant licenses that we have, we're going to have to put some, I guess, additional steps into, previously we didn't ask for every single step to be taken prior to an applicant receiving a license. And unfortunately, we're in a situation right now where we need to do that. And so we played around with some, various and sundry ways of drawing a line. What does ready to open mean? And in the end, we decided that it really needs to be clear and transparent for all of you applicants so that you know what the expectation is from us when you show up here hoping to get a license. And that line in the sand is going to be, for now, until we are able to get more licenses, it's going to be similar to what we have with the bars, which is just a, we need for you to have your occupancy license. We need for you to have all of your inspections completed. If you're in a jurisdiction where you are required to have a bar license before you receive a business license from the city, then we will take that into consideration, as you just saw happened with Ulam today. But we need all of your inspections completed. And if you are already open for business, even better. So with that, I'll turn it back to Chair Hui.
Yeah, so and just to clarify specifically, we talked about 3 items that we want restaurants to have in hand for full service restaurant licenses. We want there to be manager training completed along with sufficient number of servers ready to work. We want the business license in hand, as was mentioned, except for in cities who require the restaurant license first. And then finally, we want the final inspections complete wherever possible. So just wanted to lay out those points for those working in this space to understand that because of the scarcity of full service restaurant licenses that the legislature has bestowed us with, this is how we're going to have to operate moving forward. And we will be getting a bit of a buoy coming with the implementation of the new legislation in May. So we will be getting 33 additional licenses in May. Today, we have 21 full service restaurant licenses available. We just awarded 8 of those. So we have 13 licenses left. We had a total of 18 applicants for those 21 licenses. So we are in a situation now where between now and May, we have a very limited number. So we're going to have to apply a little extra scrutiny than what we have practiced in the past. So with that, and based on the updates from staff, Commissioner Orton, I'd like to hear your recommendation for which restaurants you would suggest that we approve.
I would.
We will, please. We're going to talk about the recommendations and then hear from the restaurants themselves. Thank you.
Before I give the recommendations, I also just wanted to add that in the past, we have allowed 30 days for manager training and staff training to take place. And we have seen an uptick in violations where we are getting staff members who haven't been trained. So I believe, is it as of May that it will be mandatory that you not allow staff or managers to begin their duties without first being trained. So there won't be, I think that'll clarify things for everyone. It's, it'll be easier to understand. So with that, our recommendation was that we award licenses to numbers 1 through 7. And then under all applicants, number 3, Ulam.
Now, before we go to committee discussion on that, we'd like to hear if any based on this comment, if there are any full service restaurant applicants who might have comments for the commission. Please come up and state your name and your affiliation. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Adam Fine. I represent Horizon View Restaurant, and Terrence Thompson and Rick Thompson are also on Zoom. So yeah, we have an update. We actually just of this morning were issued a business license from the city of Moab. I just received it by email. So we're ready to open, and we were planning to open tomorrow. We also have updated photographs. Unfortunately, with Corey out, I tried to send an update and they directed me to Joe Ferrari, who apparently was not the substitute, so I didn't get the updates in time, but I can share my screen, show photos or email photos, but we are ready to open.
Thank you for that update. I think based on the suggestion from the subcommittee before, you're included in that and we appreciate the photos.
Okay, yeah,
Oh,
we're number.
I'm sorry, I thought
2
you said
on
1
here.
through 7 except for 3. Can you repeat your recommendation? Sorry.
So under ready to operate,
Yes.
it would be 1 through 7. And then under all other applicants, it's ULM, which is number 3, and Horizon View is 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, got it. I'm sorry, we already took a vote on those other ones, so I was looking for just other applicants.
We didn't take it yet.
Okay,
I just gave the recommendation.
got it. Okay, thank you.
Vote on one. Take the
Yeah.
individuals.
Okay. I like that. Okay, let's go ahead and take, you can stay there for just 1 second. Let's go ahead. I'd be looking for a motion to approve items 1 through 7 under ready to operate, as well as item 3. Okay, thank you.
I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? No, okay. I rule that is approved. Okay, now we're talking about all other applications, items 1, 2, and 4 through 11. So, okay. Do any commissioners have any questions or comments for Horizon View?
May I?
Yes, please.
You said, do you have your certificate of occupancy?
Yes, that was, the inspections were done and and
You
the
have a-
business license was
Do you have a
issued
copy
today.
you can show us?
I have the business license. I don't have the certificate of occupancy on me. Maybe Terrence can speak to that, but
Yeah, sure. Because Commissioner Orton, are you not referring to, as our condition, ready to open would include the certificate of occupancy?
Ready to open would definitely include.
Yeah, so they won't issue the
yeah,
business.
my
license.
understanding was that the certificate of occupancy was one of the conditions of issuing this license, but it looks like Terrence Thompson can speak to that here on Zoom.
Can you guys hear
Maybe
me?
we could move to online. Terrence, please introduce yourself for the record.
This is Terrence Thompson. I'm the building owner.
And Vicky, would you remind us what we need to do for online participants to be heard?
Oh.
Mr. Thompson, it looks like you're on mute.
Can you hear me now? Hello? Is it right there? That orange?
Mr. Thompson, could you type your comments into the chat, please? And
Can you hear me now? Hello?
it's my understanding from what you're saying that the certificate of occupancy is a condition in Moab of getting your business license.
Yeah, that is my understanding. Yeah.
Okay, and you're still on track to open tomorrow,
Yes,
Yeah.
we are. Yeah.
okay? And can you speak to your trained staff?
Yeah, the main manager has been trained, other staff have been hired and trained. We turned in the records of completing the alcohol training for the relevant manager.
Do we have proof of the training for the staff?
I sent in as part of the application, the manager training for Juan Garcia. But we haven't sent in anything specific as to training any other staff members.
Recording in progress.
Hey, are there any other comments or questions from commissioners?
I think you want to verify that.
Can anybody hear me?
Okay,
See, it goes to my screen like it.
I think we're good. If you,
Have proof. I mean, I sent it to Corey Price. It's in the application and was completed even before the last meeting. Yeah.
okay, thank you. We're gonna move on to other applications while we're doing this background verification over here. What other applicants would you, are there any other applicants here today that would like to address, please? Hi, please state your name and affiliation for the record.
Miguel Carapia. I'm with Camas Restaurant Bar and Grill.
Okay.
So we were waiting on our sales tax license. I sent that over to Corey by email this morning. And also we were waiting on the liquor bond. There was a misspell and I sent that over too this morning. Yes, Vintage Restaurant Bar and Grill.
Okay,
There was a misspell on the DBA doing business as, and they were able to fix that.
Jeremy, can you verify that you've received those items?
Yes.
Can staff verify?
Yes. I guess
Are you ready to open today?
No, we plan on opening the 7th.
See, that'll make a big difference. They'll push him back. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I'd like to just apologize on behalf of the commission today. This is throwing a little unexpected kink where things have been sent to Corey and she's not here and we don't have access to her email. So we'll work through that. Thank you, Jeremy. You can go ahead and take a seat while you're emailing that. Thank you. Are there any other applicants, please?
We're with PF Chang's. I'm Jill Bach, I'm the Senior Director of Operations. Our General Manager just wanted to give the commission an update on our prior violations if we can.
Great, thank you. Please.
I'm Kimberly Kogel, Operating Partner with PF Chang's. So we know that we've had a history of a violation issue. We wanted to go through all of our current policies and ensure that we were rechecking them, going through them and creating new kind of steps in that process to ensure that we don't see these issues going forward. The first thing that we did is we did have all of our alcohol serving employees re-sign our responsible alcohol policy. This is something that they signed during their orientations, but we wanted to have it revisited. Part of that process was actually removing the 30-day grace period to get your alcohol serving license. So currently we require anyone who serves alcohol to have their license prior to going on the floor. We keep track of those licenses through our online system where we actually attach those to their employee profile. That way we're able to pull a report bi-weekly or so to ensure that they're all updated prior to them ever expiring. So they're always current. We also have our, responsible alcohol service cards. So these were made to fit inside of every server's apron. So they have them on their person at all time. They go over just different ways to ensure that you're serving alcohol properly and also show you the date for the age to 21 verification. In addition to that, we also have little reminders at every computer where people ring in their orders that also remind you of that 21 and your date, and also reminding them that we ID every single person regardless to age. In addition, we do have an online platform that we use for kind of visual learning aids. We created an 8-minute course that goes through alcohol service that every single person and manager had to take, and also had a quiz at the end that they had to ensure that they completed in order to continue serving. We also do what we call an "Are you ready" card every single day with everyone. We geared these towards proper service and different things we were working on in the restaurant. They've kind of been changed a little bit to include proper service every single day. So what they have to do is fill these out, have them approved by a manager and turned into the host before they can have their section opened and even begin to serve it all. So every day before they start, it's verified that they know that managers are scanning every single ID and that they all have their badge number so that they can be identified when they're serving alcohol. For all 3 locations, we also hired an outside company to come in and kind of do little stings for us. It's called the BARS program. So all 3 locations have passed 4 of those in the past few months. In addition, all 3 locations have passed 1 audit by the public safety. And actually, I believe Farmington now has passed 2 of those. So we've continued to make sure we're doing this every single day. And then one of the biggest things that I think has made a huge difference is every location has purchased 2 ID scanners. And it is our policy now that regardless to age, it's not 40 or under anything. It's every single, I did a 99th birthday last week, that it is scanned by a manager every single time. So those are the things that we've kind of put into place that we're continuing to do. Through the process, we also used a program called SendPut where we were actually taking photos every single day of our pre-shifts, of our check-in cards, just to validate to our corporate office that that's continuing to happen all the time.
Covered it all.
We got it all.
Great, thank you. I mean, I do want to point out that while you do have 3 previous violations for sales to minors, they are all at separate locations and none of them were repeated.
Yes, all separate. We've all been audited a second time. We also had the same officers come through and drop into every location and kind of do an impromptu audit of our liquor systems, our Berg systems, our licenses, all of our server certifications, and we all passed on every point.
Sounds like your plan is working and I appreciate the vigilance here. Thank you for your presentation. Unless any commissioners have questions for PF Chang's.
It's gonna open on April 5th, is that your plan?
So that's when we're starting our hiring site. That was our original opening date. It has been pushed back to May 17th, but we are prepared to begin hiring and training as of the 6th now, I believe. So that is our plan. We did get our inspection yesterday. We're waiting 5 to 10 days. We should have our C of O. I am waiting for our health inspection. That should be this afternoon or tomorrow morning. And then I do have the DABS. I'm waiting to hear when they want to come and do their final audit, but I am on file, fingerprints done. All of our managers are fully trained, certified. All of that's finished.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Any other applicants for full service restaurant licenses? Okay, great. I'd be looking for a motion from someone to approve any of
I'm-
the full service restaurant applicants.
I'm still looking for additional information about the 2 who presented. Should we move down and come back to it and revisit after we're able to?
I'd like to just go ahead and address Director Clayson. Do you have an update?
Jeremy mentioned he did receive the email from the gentleman who presented on Vintage Restaurant Bar and Grill from Camus. And we do have their bond and license from Camus. So Jeremy, sorry to put you on the spot, that makes their status, that updates their status to
Ready to open?
ready to open.
Conditional pending final inspection.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's our inspection. Well,
Abs
in that
inspection.
case, I would move that we accept the application of Vintage Restaurant Bar and Grill Camus number 6.
I also have an update for Horizon. I have their photos and I do have their
Let-
business license.
Yeah, we can take
Take
them
them
one at a time.
because these are very,
So,
Okay,
So
let's, we can direct that through the chair. So I hear a motion to approve Vintage Restaurant and Bar item 6. Is there a second? Thank you, Commissioner Randall. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Is there a motion, any other motions?
I don't have the rest of the information on Horizon. Oh, we do. Okay. So I would move that we go ahead and accept the application of Horizon View Restaurant number 2.
second.
Okay, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? No, okay. So we On the other applications where we have outstanding items, we will ask those applicants to continue to work with DABS staff to make sure that we have everything in place to be able to award those applications going forward. So moving on to item K, limited service restaurant applications. Jeremy, are you also taking that one?
I shall do that.
Okay, thank you.
We have one license change of ownership. It meets statutory requirements and is awaiting your approval. Then we have 6 new applicants, noting that numbers 3, 4, 5, and 6 are conditional. They meet statutory requirements and await your approval.
Okay, I'd be looking for a motion to approve the change of ownership with Bombay House first.
So moved.
Second. Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Rule that passes. Looking for a motion to approve the new applicants for limited service restaurants with items 3, 4, 5, and 6 being conditional. So moved. Seconded by Commissioner Randall. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Moving on to beer only restaurant applications. Jeremy?
We have one license change of ownership. It does meet statutory requirements and is awaiting your approval.
Looking for a motion to approve the beer only restaurant application for Wingers in Orem.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, moving on to on-premise banquet application. Rob?
All right, we have 29 banquet licenses available. We have 2 applicants. Both are conditional and the applications are complete and meet statutory requirements.
Looking for a motion to approve the 2 applicants.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Moving on to on-premise tavern applications. Rob?
All right, taverns, we also have 29 licenses available. The first one on here, the Owl, is a change of ownership. It is conditional. We have the Field Station Moab, which is conditional. Then we have Kennedy's Cabaret, which is complete. It's no longer conditional, but this is a backup application for a bar. So I don't know if you want to take that one now or just take the first 2 and discuss it later.
Yeah, I think my preference would be to take the Owl and Field Station Moab separately for now. So I'd be looking for a motion to approve tavern applications with the change of ownership for the Owl and the new application for Field Station Moab.
And both conditional.
As conditional, thank you.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, moving on to bar applications. Rob, that's also you.
Right, so we have the Zion Brewery Station. This is the change of ownership. This application is complete and meets the requirements.
Okay, I'd be looking for a motion to approve the change of ownership for Zion Brewery Station.
I'm so moved.
I heard the motion from Commissioner Jacobson. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, moving on to the ready to operate applications. Rob, would you also give us an update on the license availability for bar licenses this month?
Yeah, so this
Thank
is
you.
probably a surprise to many of the people in the audience, but there are 3 bar licenses available full year. And then we have several that are ready to go. And you want me just to go down the list?
Yeah, you could just list those out if that's okay.
Okay, so we have the Squatters in Wasatch. They are currently operating under the winter seasonal, which ends the last day of April. We have the Fisher Brewery, which is operating under a tavern license. HK Brewing Collective, Pete's Place Bar and Grill. You remember Pete's Place actually got a tavern license last month, which was conditional. They are now complete and ready to go. And then Kennedy's Cabaret.
I'm distracted by what's ever going on out there. Okay, thank you. The commission would like to hear from these 4 applications. I'm gonna allot up to 2 minutes each. If you've got anything that you'd like to update the commission on, go ahead, or you can take a pass. But first we'll go to Squatters and Wasatch.
My name is Libby. Libby Taylor. I'm the general manager of the Squatters and Wasatch Tap Room. We have been operating with the winter seasonal license. We did kind of take that as a little Hail Mary back when there were 0 licenses available. We've seen a huge increase in traffic. It was the total number was 11,000 plus in sales of just High Point beer and liquor. So it's not only, you don't see that switch just in the, of course, the income of my staff, my tipped employees, but it's the retention of guests we get to talk to and tell our story about. It's a focus on Utah products. It's a focus on safe service. So we've really enjoyed having it and hope to continue to be able to do that.
Great, thank you. And thank you for the brief comments. Noted. Fisher Brewing. And next up will be HK, if you could get ready to come up as well. And please state your name for the record. You're so familiar to this podium.
Hello, Commissioners. This is Tim Dwyer, co-owner of Fisher Brewing. We are still ready to operate. We are ready to go, and our expansion is coming along nicely. We're looking for a certificate of occupancy in April and opening in May. So we could use it today. Got 7 High Point beers that we could pour in-house. We'll be putting in our first liquor order immediately. So looking forward to it. Thanks.
Thank you. Another gold star for a brief update. HK. Welcome
My
back.
computer, my long list that I was going to read to you. Kate Lubin with HK Brewing Collective. I'm definitely very, very surprised that there's 3 licenses today. I don't know whether to be nervous or excited, but we are open. We are ready to operate. Everything is in place. We have trained staff. I do want to be transparent that we will be closed and out of the state for a week in April. I just don't want a license to be awarded to us and then fingers pointed that we're closed. There's an international kombucha conference that I'm a keynote speaker at, so there's no way around it. But we are ready to operate. We've checked all the boxes. We'd be thrilled to have a license. We do very minimal sales from the point of $15 to $50 a day as we're open right now. And we do $5,000 when we pull a single event permit. So a bar license is instrumental in allowing us to survive. Manufacturing can no longer support both sides of our business. So thank you.
We did have a question for you, if you don't mind. Our subcommittee discussed the staffing situation that you have. It was indicated to us that you currently have 4 people on staff, but can you talk about if you were awarded a bar license, what you would need to do to get fully staffed up and what that plan is and how many people are involved?
Sure. We have 4 to 5, one being pretty part-time, because we've had to pull single event permits repeatedly. We're just pulling those people in as that happens, but they are willing and able to be full-time employees with us. However, as you could expect, they have other jobs that they need to give notice to, and it's an unfair ask to tell them to leave those jobs immediately. So it puts us in a really challenging situation. We also don't want to have any violations by just hiring somebody and throwing them on the floor. So it would take us at least a week, I would say, to get staffed enough to be fully operational, 4 or 5 days a week. But being able to even open 3 days a week right now, we can staff without concern.
Okay, got it. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh.
Oh, geez.
Okay, you're gonna be, you're gonna be
pressure.
closed a week in April, right? And it's gonna take you a week to get fully operational, correct?
Fully operational, yeah.
Okay.
To be open 4 or 5 days a week will take us at least a week.
Thank you.
Yeah, just wanted to be honest, so thank you.
I guess, I'm sorry, I've set the timer and I'm timing myself out. I just wondered, is that week gonna overlap with you being gone, getting ready to operate, or does that mean that a license, if awarded, would be not operational for 2 weeks?
I mean, to say not operational, we just can't open 5 days a week. I don't feel comfortable enough committing to you that we have fully trained staff. We can open, I can open tomorrow, but I can't open 5 days a week. I don't have enough staff for an AM PM switch. So it would take a week at least to get that. And then we will be also gone for a week in April. So it would be 2 separate weeks.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Pete's Place. Please state your name for the record.
Morning, my name's Josh Skidmore, owner of Pete's Place Bar and Grill. We are fully operational, fully staffed. We're open 5 days a week right now. We're currently looking for another cook so we can, open those other 2 days. So yeah, we're open. We did surveys for our customers. And the biggest thing they said was they would like to see a full service bar. And breakfast, but we're in Weber County. We're on the west side of I-15. Most of the bar licenses in Weber County are 25th Street, Ogden, east side of I-15. So it makes a big difference. We're actually in West Haven city limits, but everybody still calls us Ogden. In my notes that I wrote, if you Google bars in West Haven City, Denny's comes up. So as one of the top 3. Place has been around since, the building's been around since 47. And Pete's, the actual Pete's has been around since the 70s. So it's kind of a local hangout, farmer hangout. Just a good place out in Western Weber County, so.
Could you clarify for us? You said you're currently open.
Yes.
So can you tell us about the license that you're currently operating under?
We're operating under a tavern license currently,
And how long have you been open?
2 days,
2 days.
2 days.
Okay, because when we had our meeting last week, it was indicated to us that you were not open yet.
Yeah, we are open.
Now you are open.
We are fully open, yeah. We
Okay.
have 12 staff that work for us, cooks, servers, manager. So,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Any questions from commission? For Pete?
Now, are you open, you're open 5 days a week, right?
Yes, we're currently gonna be closed on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. We have a lot of TVs, so that kind of plays into the whole football thing. There's no Tuesday and Wednesday night football. So that was kind of our plan now until we find more people to prepare food and cook. So.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Orton, I would like to come to you for any recommendation and recommended motions from the subcommittee, and then we can keep talking. Go ahead.
I think that the first thing I would like to do is put forth a motion that we we award a license to Fisher. We did have consensus within the subcommittee. That was our recommendation. And I think it's easier if we segment these out. So I'd like to put forth a motion that we award a license to Fisher.
Second.
Commissioner Jacobson had the second there, so. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Congratulations. We'll be taking public comment at the end of the meeting. Okay, that is a public comment, but we're gonna finish our business and then we'll come back and hear from you. Thank you. Let's keep talking about, thank you.
So the subcommittee's second recommendation was HK Brewery. I don't know if some of our other fellow commissioners have any concerns about what we've heard, but since we decided to go ahead and recommend HK, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion so that we can discuss that we give the second to HK.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, and any discussion to the motion? Commissioner Jacobson.
Yes, in preparing for this, the members of the commission have put a lot of time into trying to find ways to objectively deal with this. And up until today, one of the things that was, at least on my chart, was the fact that they were ready to open and go 100%. I can't tell you how much I appreciate honesty. It's one of the things that we tell our children, of course, is that be honest and tell everybody the truth. And it kind of hurts on the one hand to say, but this now becomes a factor, because for 2 weeks during the next month, they will not be fully operational. And so therefore, I think that this is a factor against them at this point in time. And so as far as being the number 2 license on here, I don't know that at this time I can vote for giving them the number 2 license. And because as much as I respect the honesty and everything, I think it is a factor in awarding a license at this time.
And I appreciate that as well. I have a crazy question for staff. If by some chance a winter seasonal became available before May 1st, would we be able to put that into use with HK if they wanted to take that, or is it too short of a time?
If you awarded the license to squatters, they would surrender their winter seasonal, which could then go to HK.
Expires May 1st. Yeah, it expires May 1st. So if we did not have a license available by the April meeting that we chose to award to HK, they would then not have, basically they would be putting it into effect for like 2 weeks.
Correct.
Okay, I just wanted to.
But we do have licenses that come available May 1st, and I don't know if you want to do anything but those before the May commission meeting. But we do get the 15 licenses May 1st for bars.
Oh, so they do come on. I thought they came online May 15th.
Maybe it's May 3rd.
Oh, it's May 3rd. That's right. Yeah, May 3rd. Okay.
What
So-
you do with those is up to you.
So if, and this is all so hypothetical, if we had a winter seasonal that expired on May 1st, would they then be forced to like remove all the liquor from the premises and then?
Is currently, if squatters did not get a license today, they would have to have all of the liquor removed there by May 1st. They would also have to apply for a tavern license to go back to being a tavern until they get a bar license.
Okay. Okay.
It would have to
Just
be on
trying
the
to
April commission meeting.
make this as confusing as possible. So I appreciate your. Okay.
Wouldn't, it doesn't matter who the licensee is. Whoever had that winter license on April 30th would be required to surrender it.
Absolutely.
But on May the
It doesn't
3rd,
matter.
is it, that we could issue a new license?
Yes, I believe that's when the new law goes into place.
So there's a 2-day lag.
Let me see if that's a weekend by any chance.
May 1st is a Monday and May 3rd is a Wednesday.
That is. Okay.
Was the brilliant Gina's who thought of that? Okay,
Jacobson did warn us in advance that this was going to be hard, so.
So the motion on the table is to award a bar license to HK Brewing. So any more discussion to that motion as the second bar license? Commissioner Terzon?
I guess I would just say I am concerned that they can't serve any alcohol. So like she said, they're very limited in what they can sell, even though they are open, which is a concern.
Okay, well, I think we need to take a vote on the motion and then we can continue discussion and move on to the next motion. So all those in favor of awarding a bar license to HK Brewing, please say aye. Aye. So we may need to do a roll call vote. Vicky, please. Thank you. Aye.
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 No. No.
Looks like that motion carries. HK Brewing, please get that into effect as soon as possible. Thank you. And let's move on and talk about the third, oh wait, should we applaud for HK Brewing? Okay. Oh, man.
But I have to go.
Congratulations.
Okay, it was just brought to my attention that Kennedy's Cabaret is no longer conditional. And so I'd like to afford them a chance for 2 minutes to address the commission. And this is the first time we've heard from Kennedy's. And so please state your name for the record. We'd like to hear more about your business since this is your first time presenting to the commission.
Hello, thank you for giving me this opportunity. My name is Lexi Rader. I am the owner and manager of Kennedy's Cabaret. The reason you have not heard from me so far is because I did not want to waste your time and be sitting on the list for months. So I waited until I was ready to open to get on the agenda. I just wanted to say that we're ready to open. We have a Berg system that's in place. We have a staff that's ready to go. It's a women-owned business. We support a lot of local artists, and a lot of those are also women. And I just wanted to throw that out there, but we do have a lot of performers of, men and women. We have the business license has been approved. Let's see, we are in an underserved market in the Marmalade District, and it's important to our business to have full liquor rather than a tavern license because of the underserved market and also the targeted audience. Many are the type that would like a lot of different options of spirits and not just the beer. So we're ready to go and would appreciate your consideration this month. And even though this is the first time you've heard from us, we'd like the opportunity. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any questions?
I had just one, Chair, that is, what do you mean by underserved market?
It's just in the Marmalade District. It is in downtown, but it's a little bit further north. So there's the garage on Beck that has full liquor, and there's also the Handlebar. And I'm not sure of any other that are a regular bar outside of restaurants that have maybe a full service license.
It looks like there's only 5 other bar licenses in their zip code.
So you're taking the Toasted Barrels space?
Yes, I'm in the Toasted Barrel location. They were previously a brewery and we've switched to a bar license. And we're not associated, just same location.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, thank you. Okay, we've had a lot of discussion and heard from many applicants. Is there a motion from any commissioners as to a recommended approval?
I'd like to make a motion to award our third license to Squatters in Wasatch.
Second.
Okay, any discussion to that motion? Okay, let's go ahead and take a vote. All those in favor of awarding the third and final bar license for March to Squatters and Wasatch, formerly Westside Tavern, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
You want me to say a few things, I'll go on record because we should not award this. I don't know if we need to address it since. it's-
Okay, we did sort of sideline an item that I want to come back to on item N for tavern applications, Kennedy's. It's my understanding, and I'll ask Director Clayson to comment on this, that we needed more research done on Kennedy's Cabaret before the commission would be ready to award a license. And so, Director, if you would like to comment on the research that's being done.
Yes. So as you know, they just mentioned and gave a presentation about their desire to have a bar license. Just above that agenda item was in, right, looking for a tavern license as a backup for the bar application. We did come into receipt of some information yesterday. I'd like to be sensitive to the, publicly to the nature of that information. But we do, as staff, need to do some additional research with some information that was given to us about some events that have taken place there. And we feel that it's prudent to do that research and investigation before officially recommending them for a tavern license as well. So hopefully at the end of that research, we'll be able to clear some things up and they can be on the agenda next month. I think though, I'm willing to stick my neck out on behalf of the department and say that we feel like it is prudent to do some additional research on the information we were contacted about just yesterday.
Okay, Director. So with that, my recommendation is that we move on with the agenda unless any commissioners have any different opinions. Okay, so moving on to item 12. I wanted to first go to commissioners for any public comment, and specifically to Commissioner Parrish. Wanted to see if you had an update from the operations subcommittee for this month.
Thank you, Chair, and Tiffany and Kate pretty well covered it. The only other thing I would add to it is that they have been pretty nimble in keeping the Park City store open and running it at about 75 to 80%. And that's been a big change for the operations, been a big challenge, and I think they've done a great job with that. The help desk is another item that's been very, very helpful in the operations internally.
Great. Is that all, Commissioner Parrish?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other comments from the commission? From staff?
Yes, Vice Chair Tui, I just quickly want to apologize on behalf of the department about some of the issues we had a few minutes ago with the full service restaurant applications, some of the updated information that had gone to a compliance specialist, but we didn't have full visibility as a department. I know you all are probably tired of hearing this, but I think it's important. We're going to be launching our OpenGov, our new IT compliance system. We'll be rolling out sort of a soft launch for that here in another month or two with a big hard external launch this summer. And we're really excited because that technology is going to help us not be in that situation again. So that now all applications, updated materials, all other sorts of communications will be in that system and fully visible to anyone with access to that system, so that we're not having to do sort of double duty with, CC this person here in the event that they're out of the office, et cetera. So I do want to take responsibility for that. Apologize on behalf of our customers and our applicants today that needed to send some additional things, and apologize to you as a commission, but also say that we're really excited about that.
Thank you, Director Clayson. Appreciate that. Any public comment in the room? Vicki, any public comment online? Okay. Um, Okay, if you do have a public comment with your hand raised 323 area code, last chance to speak up, or please enter your comments into the chat or send an email to hotline@utah.gov. Thank you. And we had one more comment from Commissioner Orton.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention briefly that I had an opportunity this month to spend 2 days here in this very room with a big group of licensees, a big group of law enforcement, doing easy training. And I just wanted to commend our staff, many of whom are here today, who spoke and participated. And we also, it was really extraordinary to me to see the broad participation of law enforcement in this educational training. I feel like it's, it's important to have laws and policies and rules on the book so everybody knows what the expectations are. But it's so incredibly helpful to make sure that y'all are receiving the education you need to be able to hit those expectations. And it was just such a great 2 days, and I wanted to thank everyone. Tanner Leonard was a speaker. I see her. Yes, she went over some of the laws that relate to our licensees, our applicants. And I just wanted to commend everyone who participated, both as a licensee or applicant or trainers, educators on the job that you did. I thought it was a fantastic 2 days.
Thank you. With that, I'd be looking for a motion to adjourn. Okay, I don't know. We are adjourned. Thank you.